Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Eoin Oude Essink and I'll be presenting our poster on Sustainability in Data Centres, a 5-year review. First off, why are data centres important? We actually use them every day. The Symposium at the moment wouldn't be possible without them. Ireland is currently hosting 25% of all European data centres. The graph here shows us that the Irish data centre industry has grown rapidly in the past few years and is predicted to continue to do so. Therefore, data centres will play a key role in Ireland's ability to meet its emissions targets. Our research group is determining how data centres can become greener in the future, either through more effective cooling, recovering waste heat, and determining future pathways for energy sources. For this study, we set out 3 objectives. First, determine the trends in electricity consumption in Ireland for the past 5 years. Then, to determine future trends in electricity generation and how these will impact data centres. And thirdly, evaluate pathways for data centres to become carbon neutral by 2025. This graph here shows us the average daily consumption of electricity in Ireland over the past 5 years. As we can see, on a year-by-year basis, the overall demand has increased. However, the major trends of the low usage during the early hours of the morning and the peaks during the evening times remain constant. Some positive news is that the emissions intensity of the grid has decreased year on year, due to the added renewable electricity on the grid, particularly wind. These 2 graphs show on the left the actual and on the right the forecasted wind energy to be produced in Ireland. As we can see, wind follows a similar trend to that of the electricity demand shown earlier. However, as we can see from the differences in these 2 graphs, that wind energy does add a level of uncertainty in predicting how much electricity will actually be generated. This is bad for data centres as they need constant 24/7 power. Therefore, data centres of the future will need to implement load shifting or have on-site generation or storage to counteract these uncertainties as the grid shifts more and more towards renewable energy. Finally, we evaluated 3 pathways for data centres to become carbon neutral by 2025. The 3 pathways involve either carbon offsetting by planting trees, or switching to renewable energy such as wind or solar. On the left, we show the cumulative cost of all 3 options over a 50-year lifespan. Planting the trees seems to be the low-cost option when looking at the left-hand graph. 80 million trees would be sufficient to offset the carbon for 120 data centres. The other 2 options involve building and investing in renewable energy sources. Data centres can either sell the excess generated energy or store it on site to use it later. However, further research is needed into this area to see how this will be implemented. When we look at the right hand graph, we actually factor in the cost of electricity for data centres. In Ireland, data centres spend almost 750 million euros a year on electricity. When factoring this into our costs, we get a net cumulative cost for these 3 projects. Suddenly, investing in renewable energy sources becomes far more attractive, as the data centre industry could save 10 billion euros over a 20-year project. Thank you for listening, and if you ever want more information or want to collaborate with us in the future, please feel free to contact me either via email up here or my LinkedIn. Thank you.